Good morning, leopards. Mrs. Mueller here with your morning message for the week of March 4th. Now, we are right here in March. Can you believe the weather? One thing I want to give us a reminder is on the playground when you're outside, make sure that you stay out of the real muddy areas. Our supervision teachers will make sure that they close down fields if they're too wet, too muddy. You don't want to get yourself all wet or muddy because right after recess, you have to be ready to learn back in the classroom. You don't want to be feeling cold or wet or yucky when you're sitting in class. So make sure that you're not in those areas where you will get overly wet or muddy. Now, this month, our character trait is on integrity and courage. Integrity. That's a big word that as a class, I want you to start unpacking. Our leadership kids will be sharing this month about what does it mean? Integrity. The simplest way I have for integrity is doing the right thing even when no one's watching. So that means wherever you are, whenever, that you are remembering to do the right thing. Well, here at Lacamas, we put those on four kind of overarching big four expectations. That we're respectful, that you're responsible, that you're safe, and that we show and demonstrate kindness. So this month we're going to be talking about integrity and what does that mean? One of the places that we notice every spring that starts to kind of creep up with some behaviors that are unexpected and challenging is on the playground, and especially around group games. Now raise your hand if you are maybe on a basketball team, or maybe you're on a soccer team, or you're doing lacrosse, or maybe you're on a football team. Those team sports, we have oftentimes games on the playground that kids like to do. But when we are on the playground and we have way more than what your team might be who are wanting to play, our games need to look different. There are some basic things that so all have a good time and that we maintain our respectful, responsible, safe, and kind that we set for some expectations for our gameplay. If you're playing any of these team sports, you're playing a basketball game or you're doing soccer out on the field, we first need to make sure that we balance teams. So that means you and your good buddy who might be on another team outside in a league, you might need to separate. Think about that. Why would we want to do that? Yeah, we'd want to do that so that our teams are fair. There are some kids who they're not on a team, but they still want to play. They might not have the same skills that you and your buddy have, but they still want to be a part of the game and have fun at recess. And so we make sure that our recess expectations, you're not thinking like it's your team outside on a league. So we want to balance teams. Our recess supervision teachers will help balance teams. And for some of our grade levels, you're having some more challenges, they'll always divide teams for you. But what we want you to do is get to where you can do that yourself. You and your buddy say, hey, let's play against each other. It's going to improve your skills and it's going to help everyone have a good time. Here's the second thing. There's always going to be conflict and disagreements. There's going to be different versions of what you think happened, right? You were on that line. No, you were outside that line. That ball was in when I kicked it. No, that ball was out when I kicked it. Because that's your perspective. And each of us has a different perspective by where we are and how we're playing in the game. There isn't arguing over that. We're going to solve those quickly so that we get right back to playing. We solve it quickly by, oh, I thought it was here. You thought it was there. Oh, let's go rock, paper, scissors. Just whoever wins that, it's what you thought. That gets you right back into playing so that you're enjoying and having fun. Another thing, we don't keep score. Yep, that's right. We don't keep score. So at the end of recess, if a recess teacher hears you saying, "We won," no, you played great. That's the conversation that we want to have. And in fact, what we would hope we would hear is everybody saying, "Nice job. Liked how you went for that goal. Good job with that shot. Thanks for playing. Let's meet up at next recess." Over going, "We're the winners. You guys didn't win." So we don't even keep score. We just keep the game going. You made a goal. Let's get the ball back out quickly. Let's play again. It doesn't matter. It's for fun. So we've talked about a few things. You divide the teams evenly. Recess teachers will help. You solve conflicts, disagreements over what you saw or what your team thought by just rock, paper, scissors so you get back to play. And we don't keep score. Now, the rest of it, everything continues to fall under our big four: respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. I've been hearing that language or how we're talking to people is not demonstrating like a leopard. We never want to hear on our playground or at school any inappropriate language. We don't want to hear it here. This is called a social setting. And here in this social setting, we have all kinds of people with their different thoughts and feelings. And we want to make sure that what we say, what we do is okay and good for all. So our language and how we talk to each other is really important in these games. So this month, we're talking about integrity. Doing the right thing even when no one's watching. We know those recess teachers, they can't catch everything. They're not all present, able to see everything. They're there. And if you have disagreements, you go right to them. But we want to make sure that within ourselves, we're able to manage these social settings and be like a leopard. Classrooms, I want you to continue to go over. Different grade levels are having more conflicts in different games because of what you mostly like to play and where you're at. For some of you, you're not doing any of these team type games. Maybe you're playing at the ropes course or you're on the swings. And so you don't maybe necessarily have this kind of dynamic that happens within your time at recess, but you're going to lend some good insight for the rest of your class. And we're going to make sure that we are like a leopard. Be respectful to your playground, your supervision teachers. They're out there to help you. They're your go-to people. They're stationed around and make sure that in everything we're doing, kids, we're using our integrity and we're showing that we're like a leopard. Let's make this a great week. In Lacamas Leopards, we're respectful, responsible, safe,